Thank you so much indeed for coming. Indeed, the latest update. We mark today 530 days of the continuous, relentless Israeli-American war against the Palestinian people in Gaza. A few days ago, on 18th of March, Israel resumed the relentless bombardment on Gaza, killed at the very first hour only killed approximately 500 Palestinians, vast majority of them, of course, and this is, I'm not revealing a secret when I say that the vast majority of them is innocent civilians people. This is the latest update. If you are asking about the numbers, approximately till now, we the Palestinians lost more than 50,000 innocent Palestinian citizens from Gaza and of course from West Bank. Again, the vast majority of them is women and the children. But aside that, the entire Gaza, most probably, or 80%, according to some statistical and UN reports, is talking about 80% of Gaza was completely razed or semi-razed or leveled on the ground. So that this is the latest update. But if you ask about number, there is a lot of numbers about what is happening in Gaza, especially when it came to how many the death toll, and as I already mentioned, it exceeded right now the 50,000 Palestinians. Also, it is very important to say that approximately 12,000 so far is still missing under the rubble, or we did not know where are they.
What could be the reason behind this sudden attack? Because we have seen since the
2 months.
Yeah, 2 months. There was ceasefire, there was exchange of hostages, prisoners, and suddenly Israel has started attacking Gaza again.
Since the very early moment of the signing the truce which was signed in January 19, Netanyahu himself, and this is according even to the Israeli media, is saying that all of the time, that Netanyahu was intended not to continue the ceasefire itself. The ceasefire or the truce was signed between Israel and the moderator, of course, through Egypt and Qatar, contained 3 stages. The first stage to extend it to 40 days. During this stage, there should be a release of 33 hostages, which is done from the Palestinian side, and entering of the humanitarian aid and other heavy equipment to remove the rappels. Unfortunately, and of course, during this stage, there should be, the discussion should start for the second and the third stage. Israel was completely shut down the discussion on the second and the third stage. Also, Israel after a few days, completely closed and or shut down the entering of the humanitarian aid, so that we all know that Israel was violate the agreement, violate the condition that they sign it in the truce agreement. I mean, also everyone know that this is for the political benefit only for Netanyahu. By the end of this month, Netanyahu was completely his government was close to collapse because there is a vote for the state budget, and the state budget he did not secure at all the needed votes, the needed number of votes, so that to do so, he should bring back the Otzma Yehudit chairman, which is Ben Gvir. Ben Gvir has already put many conditions to return to the government. On top of that, of course, is to back to the war in Gaza, and to settle, to start put settlement in Gaza, to fire the Attorney General and the chief of the Shin Bet itself. Once the war was resumed, Ben Gvir was back to his seat in the government, and Netanyahu secured the passing of the budget, and by default he secured his government not to be dismantled.
and Israel has set up a separate department for the purpose of voluntary or forced relocation of Gaza's population.
Come again, I did not get you.
So Israel has planned to offer people of Gaza to either voluntarily relocate this, to go somewhere else, some other place, or forced relocation. So how do you see this kind of proposal or plan by the Netanyahu government?
Let us back to the very first days of the war, when Netanyahu and all of his senior political high rank, when they declared that it's time to complete what they call Ben Gurion work, which is the expelling of the Palestinian people. Ben Gurion was the start expelling of the Palestinian people in 1948, and they believe that he did not finish his work because he did not expel the remaining part of the Palestinian from West Bank and Gaza. This is a theory in the Israeli society, so that they declare from the very beginning that it's time and to expel the Palestinians, the Gazans from Gaza, and they pressure Egypt to accept them. This plan is still in the table. When the new comer to the White House, I mean President Trump, came, he declared that he will going to own Gaza to build his own version of Middle East Riviera. So, and to do so, he said that Egypt and Jordanian will going to accept the relocating of the Palestinian people, to the expelling of the Palestinian people. But unfortunately, of course, the Palestinian people themselves, under the leadership of the Palestinian Liberation Organization, also Egypt and Jordan and all the Arab world, united with many, of course, the vast majority of the international community refused this plan, and the Palestinians themselves is refusing this plan. We will continue to refuse it. But let us be very frank, Israel is working tirelessly to make Gaza is an habitable place, so that they back to the war as part of their plan to completely level Gaza, so that there is nothing and nowhere for the people in Gaza to back to it, to live and to continue their life. And this will pressure them to, even if they will not forcibly will being reallocated or immigrate, they will find another way, which is they used to call it voluntary immigration. Israel has already started created the Israeli government has created a special committee for the voluntary immigration of the Palestinian people. Israel is reached out, and this is declared to many countries at the very beginning of the war, to many African countries, and now they are negotiating till now with Sudan, pressuring by the American, of course, with Sudan, Somalia, and Somaliland to accept the Palestinian people to be relocated there.
So, do you think this is feasible, relocating Palestinians to other countries?
We, the Palestinian people, unfortunately, was expelled and ethnically cleansed from our historical land in 1948. And we exercised what exact meaning to be a refugee in the foreign country, to be a refugee in a refugee camp, to be a foreigner in another country, so that we will continue to live in our state, we will continue to live in our land, regardless of the relentless bombardment by the Israeli themselves. We have no other choice except to continue live and to continue stay on our homeland.
Could Israeli attack ignite a wider conflict in the region, in the Middle East? Because US is also bombing Houthis in Yemen, and the Israelis are attacking Gaza and in some part of Lebanon as well.
No, the Israeli or the Zionist movement plan, which is completely clear that this will not be limited to Gaza itself or the West Bank, because the war is not only in Gaza, the war also in West Bank. And let me just remind all your viewers that just in the very last 2 months, the Israeli occupation army was attacked the camps in Tulkarem, Jenin, and other places in West Bank, they already dismantle and demolish tens of or hundreds of homes there. They already expelled and forcibly displaced, internally displaced approximately 40,000 of the Palestinian people there in West Bank. When it came to whether it will be deteriorated to the area, Israel or the Zionist movement, the Kahanist, and of course the evangelical, whom is fully supported by the evangelical church in America, have their own opinion when it came to the area and to the map of Israel, or the Israel, the great Israel, the biblical Israel, which is contained, or which is going from Nile River to Al-Iraq, so that they want and they will doing their ultimate best to deteriorate, to accelerate, to make the war is not only in Gaza. They already attacked Lebanon, and now they occupied a huge part of Syria. And yesterday we heard that there is alarming from the American Witkoff, the American special envoy to the Middle East, Witkoff, when he said that there is another, explicitly, implicitly, said that there is another two or one country in the edge of, on the bricks of, on the edge of the to be collapse in the area, which means that they want this to be deteriorated and accelerate and went above and beyond Gaza, which will serve their biblical goals, and I mean the biblical Israel.
And can you provide any estimate on how many Israelis currently are in Hamas custody? Because Israel says that they will not stop till they finish Hamas, and Hamas has hostages, a number of hostages. So how many hostages are there in Hamas custody?
Yes, but I'm wondering why you did not ask me. Why you did not ask me how many hostages in the Israeli prison? So how many Palestinian hostages in the Israeli prison? Unfortunately, we used to face that. This is an unfair situation, which is I will back to your question, of course. But there is approximately 12,000 Palestinian hostages right now in the Israeli prison. All of them, without no exceptional, is subject to torture and unhuman treatment. And approximately 48 right now was killed or died in the Israeli jail just at the very last 1.5 years. This is very important to start from the bigger figure, but when it came to the how many Israeli hostages in Gaza, according to the Israeli estimate, it's 53 hostages right now in the hands of Hamas. The question is whether this war, according to what the Netanyahu say, he will not stop the war until he secure all the hostages. The question is, during 15 months, Israel did not succeed to secure the return of the hostages themselves. Not only that, they killed the vast majority of them in Gaza through, of course, the continuous and bombardment. So what they did not achieve in 15 months, is it possible they will going to achieve it in the upcoming month? I doubt they will do so, and they or the hostages themselves was returned back. 35 of them was back to their home just after they have an agreement and a signed agreement. So that, again, by military pressure, I doubt they will succeed to bring back any of those hostages. Not only this, it seems that they will kill more of them, beside thousands of the Palestinian innocent people. Just negotiation and negotiation table might secure the back home of those hostages.
I've spoken with Israeli ambassador in Delhi. He said that for diplomacy and dialogue, Gaza people should elect or choose other leader except Hamas. They do not want to talk to Hamas. So do you think that there is possibility of another leadership that can emerge in Gaza?
I'm gonna take this question to more. I'm gonna divide it to more than a pillar. The elected government, the elected president Mahmoud Abbas, who's leading and who's ruling the West Bank itself. Did they reach out to him to discuss with him a peace process itself, or they did not reach out to him and they cut all the communication with him? Not only this, they are doing their ultimate best, and they declared their policy not to allow him to collapse, to make the Palestinian Authority to collapse very soon, and they did not spare any effort to collapse the Palestinian Authority. When it back to Gaza, just let us back just 1.5 years ago, who's the one that was stressed and declared with a declared position that to maintain and to secure there will not be a Palestinian state, you should and we should also support the Hamas in Gaza. This is the Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. The Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu was supporting Hamas, even feeding them with the cash money, the Qatarian cash money, which came through the Israel. And this is something is declared. I'm not revealing a secret when I say that. So that to elect who will be elected by the Palestinian people, this should be, we should leave it to the election itself. My belief that we, the Palestinian Liberation and the Palestinian Liberation Organization, the Palestinian Authority, declared that we want to go to the election just to make sure that this election should include Gaza, West Bank, occupied Gaza, occupied West Bank, including East Jerusalem. The Israeli refused to give us the ability to make this, the election